TikTok. I'm fucking tired of working for people, man. Is it me or people that can't do what you do? Always trying to tell you how to do something. They fuck your day up with their... I'm so sick of this shit. Anybody else is tired of working fucking period? I'm tired of working for people and doing anything, man. If the shit gonna happen, I wish it hurry up and happen. I ain't never been so flustered in my life. I'm gonna be 49 years old. The older I get, the more angry I get towards people. Their bullshit. These fucking companies ain't loyal no more. They send you through hell and water. I'm just fucking... And then they want you to stay calm while you getting screwed. This fucking app is so censoring, it's ridiculous. They kicked me out of the Creator Rewards program. I don't even know why. Talking about not making my videos public, which my videos get good views. I don't know. I'm just tired of the bullshit. I'm just fucking exacerbated, man. Like, god damn, for the love of it. It take a lot of mental strength to stay from fucking somebody up. I don't know, man. I'm too old to be this goddamn frustrated and stressed out for absolutely nothing. Take a lot of restraint to keep from fucking somebody up.
Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash, and double honors and respect to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth, as well as much respect and honors to the brothers that are pushing this truth in sincerity across the four winds of this earth and risking their lives and freedom to do so. I would also like to give much honors and respect to the brothers and sisters that are of the hopeful elect that are doing their very best to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High to the best of their abilities. Shalom. As you heard this Jake speaking in this short TikTok video that I just shared with you, he was basically saying that he's tired of working. He's tired of working for people. And he's just basically tired in general. And, you know, you're having a lot of people who are feeling like this, okay? A lot of people are feeling just like this Jake. They're tired. And the reason being is because, you know, we're being oppressed over here. Okay, this place is oppressing the people. And the reason being is because you have the wicked that's bearing rule. And that wicked is Esau Edom. And what these devils are doing is they're ruling in wickedness and they are oppressing the people. You're even having Edomites that are also taking to social media and they're complaining about how, you know, things are going on over here in America. They're complaining about the way things are being ran over here. And so, again, you got these devils, they're currently in rulership and they are oppressing the people. They're ruling in wickedness. And so you're having a lot of people, you know, who are feeling like how this Jake right here is feeling, you know. And to be honest, I actually feel like that too as well. I'm tired. I'm not going to lie. I mean, you know, but, you know, in this captivity, we have to work in order to survive. But I'm not going to lie. I'm very tired. And a lot of people are feeling like this. But, you know, this right here is also an indicator that this is not our rest. OK, America, also known as Babylon the Great, is not our rest, because you got devils that are currently in the power seat, and these devils, they're ruling in wickedness. And, you know, with that being said, you know, this is why you have to spiritually detach yourself from this place, Israel, and return to the Father and His Son. And when I say Israel, I'm talking about you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and those that are of the speckled bird that look like these other nations, but you go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob on your father's side. Again, this place is not our rest, okay? And so you have to come up out of this place spiritually and return to the Father and the Son. And see, with that being said, America, this place is getting ready to fall. America is on life support, and the plug is soon about to be pulled. And those of us that are of the hopeful elect, we're looking forward to the downfall of this wicked kingdom of Esau's. Because once this place falls, the new righteous rulership comes in. That's going to be ruled over by our big brother, our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, along with 144,000 elect men of Israel. And in the new righteous kingdom that's soon to come, we will be able to get rest, okay? And so, you know, with that being said, again, you have to spiritually detach yourself from this place, you know, and return to the Father and the Son, okay? And again, you know, this place is not going to stand for much longer. So with that being said, Israel, you know, continue to endure. We don't have much longer. We're almost home. But I saw this short video right here, and I just thought that I would bring out a quick lesson because, a lot of people are feeling like how this Jake right here is feeling. But, again, this place is not going to stand for much longer. And once this wicked kingdom of Esau falls, the new righteous rulership comes in. And then the new righteous rulership, we will be able to get rest. Okay. And so, with that being said, Israel, continue to endure. Okay. And don't allow, anyone or anything, don't allow the people of this world or the things of this world to cause you to fall out of this truth and go back into the world. Because all that's going to do is just lead to your destruction. Because this world has nothing to offer. Again, you got the wicked that's bearing rule. And these devils, they got wickedness covered on all levels. And so what I'm going to go ahead on and do is I'm going to bring out a couple of scriptures and then we will end the lesson. Okay, the first scripture I want to go to is in the book of Proverbs. And this is chapter 29. And this is verse 2. And it reads, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Okay, and see, here it is. The people are currently in a state of mourning. Reason being is because you got the wicked that's bearing rule. And that wicked is Esau, Edom, starting with these elite bankers. And what these devils are doing is they are oppressing the people. And this is why you're having videos come up like the video that I shared in the beginning of this lesson, the way you had this Jake. Okay, he was complaining. He was complaining about having to, work so hard on these jobs and whatnot, and how, he was tired and everything. Okay. And see, with that being said, you're having a lot of people now, they're taking to social media and they're complaining about how, things, are going on over here. They're complaining about, the way things are happening. They're complaining about, all of the inflation that's going on over here. You're having a lot of people, they're taking to social media and they're complaining about, the inflation that's going on over here. They're complaining about, not getting adequate pay on these jobs to deal with the inflation. Okay, you're having a lot of people that are taking to social media and they're complaining about, struggling to try to make the ends meet. Okay, struggling to try to keep a roof over their heads. And see, speaking of that, here it is, you're having people now, they're having to live in storage units. They're having to live in vehicles. People have lost their apartments. They have lost their homes, due to the inflation and, due to not getting adequate pay to deal with the inflation. Okay. And see, this is happening because you have the wicked that are bearing rule. And so the people are in a state of mourning. These devils, they are oppressing everyone. And again, this is why, people are in a state of mourning. This is why people are taking to social media and they're complaining about how things are going on over here, in Babylon the Great. The entire earth is in a weakened and mourning state because you have the wicked that's bearing rule. But, with that being said, these devils, they don't have much longer in the power seat. Their kingdom is literally falling right before our eyes. And again, those of us that are of the hopeful elect, we're looking forward to the downfall of this devil and his wicked kingdom. Because once this devil falls, the new righteous kingdom comes in. And in the new righteous kingdom, we will rejoice. Okay. I want to go to the book of Ecclesiastes. And this is chapter 7. This is verse 7. And it reads, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Okay, and see, back to the video that I shared in the beginning of this lesson, you heard what this Jake was saying. You could tell that he was upset. He was mad. Okay, he even admitted that, that he was upset. And reason being is because he's realizing that he's being oppressed. Okay, and see, when you realize that, you're being oppressed and taken advantage of, that will make you upset. That will make you mad. And people are waking up to the fact that these devils are oppressing them. Okay. These devils, they're even oppressing our own people. But, these devils, they're mainly oppressing our people. Okay. And see, here it is over here, you're subject to payments for every little thing. Okay. You'll never own anything over here in Babylon the Great. And that's because you got these devils, they're ruling in wickedness. And see, here it is. You can, buy a home over here and you can be on a 30-year mortgage and you can pay off that 30-year mortgage, but you'll still never own that home. Because if you stop paying the taxes or if you don't pay the taxes on the home, you'll lose the home. Here it is. There was a video that had came out not too long ago to where you had an 80-something-year-old woman. Okay, she had a home that she had paid off over here in Babylon the Great. And she had fell upon some hard times, I believe, because she had become ill. And as a result of her becoming ill and falling upon bad times, I guess she fell behind, I believe, on her taxes or something like that. Well, anyway, she fell behind on her taxes, and these devils, they came and took that home from her. And she was over 80-something years old. These devils, they don't show no mercy towards no one. They don't show no mercy towards the young or old. Okay? Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 7 again, it says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. And again, this Jake in the video that I shared in the beginning of this lesson, he was upset. He was mad, okay? Because he's being oppressed, and he realizes that he's being oppressed, okay? It says, and a gift destroyed the heart. Because here it is. I mean, in many cases, you can give someone a gift and they'll forget the fact that they're being oppressed. Because here it is. I mean, we're being oppressed over here in Babylon the Great. But in many cases, they have so many things going on over here, like different games and stuff like that, like NFL games, NBA games, boxing matches and things like that. Basically trying to keep the people's minds off the fact that they're being oppressed. And so a gift will destroy the heart. A gift will make you forget that you're being oppressed, But a wise man is going to realize that he's being oppressed. And, again, people are waking up to the fact that these devils are oppressing them over here. A wise man is going to see through all of the BS, A wise man is going to realize, that he's being, oppressed and taken advantage of. Okay, I want to go back to Proverbs chapter 28, and this is verse 15. And it reads, as a roaring lion and a raging bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people. Okay, and see, this is how, these devils rule. They rule in wickedness, and they pretty much get the best of you on these jobs, by working your fingers to the bone, and once they done got the best, out of you, they done got the best years out of you, they discard you, once your body starts to break down and whatnot. And see, and here it is, a lot of people, after they done slaved on these jobs, for years and whatnot, they get very little retirement, and very little health care, to sustain themselves. And the reason being is because you got these devils that are currently in the power seat and they're ruling in wickedness. Here it is. There's people that are still having to work, after they're, well into their 70s, because, the retirement doesn't pay them enough. And see, and these devils, they keep raising the price of everything. They keep inflating everything. They're raising the cost of living. And they're not giving any type of cost of living increases or adequate cost of living increases to deal with the inflation. Here it is. I had saw another video of this elderly woman. I think she was well into her 70s, and she was still having to work, because her retirement wasn't paying her enough. And here it is. She was well into her 70s, and so she was older, and she was having some health issues, and so she was working a job. And because she couldn't work fast enough on that job because of her age and her health, she was on the verge of losing that job. Plus, she was on the verge of becoming homeless, okay? And so, these devils, as I was saying, they rule in wickedness. They're unfit to rule. And they pretty much get the best of you on these jobs. They, work your fingers to the bone. And once they done got your best years out of you, they discard you. They throw you away. But, this is why we need the kingdom. This is why we need deliverance. This place is not our rest. This is why you have to spiritually detach yourself from this place, Israel, and return to the Father and the Son. Because this place is not our rest. And this place will destroy you, because you got the wicked that's being ruled. And these devils, they got wickedness covered on all levels. Salakia. Okay, this is the book of Psalms, and this is chapter 62, and this is verse 10. And it reads, trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. Okay, and see, this devil Esau, he's oppressing us over here. As I had mentioned earlier, on many of these jobs, you have to get up at early hours and go to these jobs, and Many of these jobs, they require you to work long, hard hours. And, sometimes, you have to wait either till the end of the week or sometimes even 2 weeks before you can get paid on these jobs. And once you done got, paid on these jobs, this devil Esau, what he's done is he's done taxed the hell out of your check. Okay. And so, that's oppression. But, with that being said, as I had mentioned earlier, we have to work in order to survive in this captivity. Let's read this again. Psalm chapter 62 and verse 10 again, it says, trust not in oppression and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. Okay. And so, don't put your trust in this failing system of Esau's. Okay. Because this place is literally on life support and it's going to fall very soon. So again, don't put your trust in this failing system of Esau's. Don't put your trust in these jobs. Okay. Even if you get a raise on these jobs, because here it is, we're seeing what's happening to a lot of people on these jobs. A lot of people are getting let go. A lot of people are getting laid off and fired on these jobs. We're seeing massive layoffs happening. So don't put your trust in this failing system of Esau's. Don't put your trust in these jobs because, just like you got these jobs and just like you can get a raise on these jobs, they can fire you at any given moment. You can get laid off or fired at any given moment on these jobs. And so with that being said, you put all your faith and trust in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Abashah and not this failing system of Esau's. Again, you put your faith and trust in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Abashah and not this failing system of Esau's. Okay, this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and this is verse 7. And it reads, pride is hateful before the Most High in man, and by both the one commit iniquity. And see, Esau, this devil, he's a proud man and he's full of iniquity. And iniquity is sin upon sin. Esau, he's that man of sin. Okay. And this devil, he's oppressing the people. This devil, he has the entire earth in a wicked and mourning state. And because of all the wickedness that this devil has done, he has a great and terrible judgment coming to him very soon. Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, this is verse 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by the seed, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And see, Esau, he came into power, and he got America through unrighteous dealings in the seat. This devil, he stole America from the Northern Kingdom tribes. He deleted off a lot of our Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters, and he stole this land from them. Okay? And this devil, what he's doing is he's oppressing the people over here. Mainly our people. And because of the unrighteous dealings in the seat that this devil has done, to get into power, this devil, he's going to be stripped of his rulership. Okay, this devil, he's going to be brought low and he's going to be stripped of his rulership. Esau's time is short, and this devil, he knows it. And this is why this devil, he's working overtime, because he's trying to do everything he can to extend his rulership. But no matter how hard this devil tries to extend his rulership, he only has a set amount of time to rule, and we're at the end of this devil's rulership. America is done. This place is on life support, and that plug is soon about to be pulled. And once this devil and this wicked kingdom falls, the new righteous rulership comes in. And again, in the new righteous rulership, we'll be able to get rest. Okay? So, this is why you have to continue to endure, Israel. Continue to endure and don't allow, the things of this world or the people of this world to cause you to fall out of this truth and go back into the world. Because all that's going to do is just lead to your destruction. And we're almost home. Okay? We're almost home. Okay, I want to end off in the book of Isaiah, chapter 14. And I want to start in verse 1. And it reads, for the Lord Yahweh Bashim Abashah will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Okay? And so, the Lord is going to have mercy upon his people, because the Lord is going to deliver his elect from the hands of our enemies. And the Lord's people, again, is the nation of Israel. Who are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and those that are the speckled bird who look like these other nations, but you go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob on your father's side. Let's read this verse again. Verse 1 again, it says, for the Lord Yahweh Bashim Abashah will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. But what I want to get right here, where it says, and set them in their own land. Okay. And see, the Lord is going to give us our land back, which is Israel. Right now you have those small hatters that are over there in our land, and they're claiming to be us. But the Lord Yahweh Shem Abashai is going to get them up out of there. Okay. They're going into captivity. Okay. The Lord is going to get them up out of our land, and the Lord is going to give us our land back. It says, verse 1 again, it says, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Okay, and see, the strangers is talking about, it's talking about the Israelites. Okay, because here it is, at one point, we were all strangers to this truth. But after, hearing the preaching of this gospel, through our apostles and elders, we came back into the remembrance of our true nationality. Okay. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 2, it says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh Shem Abashai for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Okay, and see, this verse right here is talking about Esau and the rest of these heathens. We are going to possess them for servants and handmaids. Right now, these heathens have us in captivity. But the roles are going to change very soon. Esau and the rest of these heathens are going to go into captivity, and we're going to rule over them. We're going to possess them, and we're going to rule over them. Thus says the Lord Yahweh Shem Abashai. Verse 3, and we'll end off here. It says, and it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord Yahweh Shem Abashai shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve. Okay, and so again, in the new righteous kingdom that's soon to come, we will be able to get rest. Okay, so with that being said, again, Israel, continue to endure. Okay, because we're almost home. And so, that's pretty much the point. I'm going to go ahead and end off here. I hope it was edifying. Once again, I want to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and double honors and respect to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Kwam Yasharala and Abal Babal. Shalom.